Seagull294, and in today's video I will be giving my advice for anyone who does not know what to draw. The images for this video will be in a collection of various pieces of art I've done over the years, but the pictures themselves are not directly related to the content of the video, although a few may be tangentially related. Yeah, this is a tough topic for a lot of artists. The perpetual question of what to draw. I'm going to be discussing what I do that helps me and giving some generally good advice. But of course, consider my advice for yourself. You have to find what works for you. I keep a list of random drawing ideas in a place I can find. I also have multiple Pinterest boards for housing different ideas and different potential art challenges. Find some way of holding ideas when they come to you. I recommend writing them down or record yourself saying them or something. For pure idea generation and idea remembering, I do not actually recommend sketching, as you want your list to be as specific or as broad as words can get. Once I've seen a visual for something, I find it is harder to change that visual in my mind, even when I go to drawing a finalized version of a piece. Sometimes, artists do not start drawing because they feel like they do not know what to draw. So what is the point? I think you need to decide that you are going to draw, even when you don't feel like you have any ideas. The process of drawing usually sparks the ideas, not the other way around. When I feel like I should draw, but I have no ideas, I go through a list of possibilities. I could go abstract, pick a particular theme, choose a color to focus on, draw something I like to draw a piece of fan art, draw something I hate, draw something that is easy that I've drawn a lot, or draw something that sounds challenging but fun. Remember, not everything you create has to be a masterpiece. In fact, there is no rule saying that because you drew it, you have to show it to anyone else. Unless you're being commissioned or paid to draw it, just draw it for its own sake or because you want to get better at it. I've fallen into the trap of looking too far ahead with my own art. You have to accept that those awkward, refusing to draw hands pictures are part of your artistic journey. When a young child is in school, there is a sequence to their learning. A kid learns to count before adding, and adding before multiplying, and multiplying, plus a few other things, before a college-level world economics course. In art, you have to start where you are and go forward. It would be funny and inappropriate to tell a kindergartner they need to learn to count so they can do calculus. Nobody gets mad at a 5-year-old for counting incorrectly above 20. It's just something they cannot do yet. That yet is a powerful word. Setting apart what you can do and what you will be able to do. Maybe your art skills seem to be progressing slower than other people. Maybe you feel like your art is bad. That too is part of the process. I can guarantee that if you're practicing your art even just once a year, you're better than you used to be. Don't believe me? Well, see if you can find any drawings you did in kindergarten or first grade, or find a picture from 5, 10, 20, even 30 years ago. Is your art now better in some way than the old art? Of course it is. Mistakes are not fun to make, but just like in life, they can be a good way to learn. Learn how to accept mistakes in order to grow. And remember, life is a marathon, not a sprint. Although actually, life is more like a maze with smaller prizes along the way, and the complexities of... I got off track again, didn't I? Anyway, the point being, you can only get better if you keep drawing, for which you need ideas. I recommend that you set yourself up with some ideas to draw that are your backup, when you want to draw but don't have any ideas. Even if all you draw is circles or blobs. If you want to learn how to draw something specific, of course, you may want to look up tutorials or take a class or what have you. But I think for idea generation, you need to look more inward, not outward. I love looking up challenge ideas online, but I often end up doing something different than what I find. Not because the ideas are bad, but because the best artwork is created when you are all in for the idea of the piece. You have to make your art your own. In conclusion, find something you enjoy creating art about, and do that. Have a default idea or kind of idea to fall back on when you feel like you have artist's block. For me, I draw a lot of people or abstract pieces when no other ideas come to me. I find that when I want to draw, for instance, a landscape, but I can't think of anything specific to create or feel intimidated by the challenge, if I have the time and spare materials, I will create any other random picture, even a 2-minute doodle first. So that way I've taken some of the pressure of creating off of myself. When it comes to ideas of what to draw, it is okay to start and not finish a piece. It is better to start something you later regret than regret not starting at all. Remember, it is easier to fix any art that already exists than a blank canvas.